Welcome to the home of WWE News Rumors and Gossip in real time. Click the bell, subscribe, and turn on all notifications today. Don't forget to become a channel member and send a super thanks donation below. And now, your host. He is the most consistent and dedicated in YouTube history, Seanzviewent.
As we wake up, as we get up this morning, as it is AM, as everyone is starting to get their wits about themselves and get their breakfast and get out their drinks and get out their minerals and their medication and perhaps their vitamin D, their vitamin C. They get out their nutrients. You're getting out your shakes, your protein shakes. You know, we're supposed to be getting hyped up about SummerSlam less than a week away, the first ever two-night SummerSlam. But unfortunately and sadly, instead we're talking about the life and the times, the death, the passing of the immortal Hulk Hogan. And, you know, every day there seems to be something new, something rumor, something specific, something gossip, something speculation, something hearsay, something reported, something retorted, something that was been brought back. There's been a lot of things said about the immortal Hulk Hogan, the iconic, legendary name that he is. And again, all the talk over the last 72 hours has been about Hulk Hogan for good reason. And again, we would all be talking about SummerSlam and the fact that a massive match may be canceled at SummerSlam, and that major match being Drew McIntyre's match, including Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Jelly Roll, because there's rumors that Drew McIntyre may not be able to make it back, that they didn't accept his passport, that Drew McIntyre can't make it back into the United States, that he's being kept over where he is. I think over in the UK or wherever he is, they would not accept him back into the USA. They would not accept Drew McIntyre back into the United States of America. So obviously that would be massive. Then that would be huge if Drew McIntyre can't make it back in time for WWE SummerSlam. But that is the rumor. That is the speculation going online this morning. Your thoughts, your comments, and your feedback on the fact that Drew McIntyre may not make it back in time. Now you got to wonder who would fill the space. Who would be Drew McIntyre's replacement? Or would the WWE go in a singles route, a singles match between Randy Orton and Logan Paul? Or maybe Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul with Randy Orton in its corner. I mean, there's so many different things. There's still so many different ways that the WWE could go about this. Make no mistake about that at the end of the day. But viewers, fans, and subscribers, it's so crucial and important to become a channel member today. Remember, I cannot do this without you. This show does not happen without the support, the comments, the likes, the interaction due to each and every one of you right here on this very show. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the big rumored report that is going on this morning. The wrestling world was shaken to its core when the news broke of the death of the legendary Hulk Hogan several days ago, known in the same week that we lost Ozzy Osbourne. Very sad, very horrible. Known as the most iconic name in WWE history, Hulk Hogan's impact on the industry and pop culture cannot be denied. As fans mourn the loss of this larger-than-life figure, many are wondering what will become of his legacy and how will the WWE pay tribute to him. And that's another thing. The WWE did pay tribute. They did realize Hulk Hogan on the Blue Brand of SmackDown this past week on the USA Network. They did the 10-bell salute. They did video montages. They did video packages. But will they do the same tonight on Raw? Or will it simply just be a photo, an image of WWE Remembers Hulk Hogan? Well, we're going to have to tune into Raw tonight to find out if the WWE has any plans in store for the immortal Hulk Hogan, the former multi-time WWE champion and world heavyweight champion, a man that spanned the WWE, the WCW, TNA. As the rumors swirl about what is next for WWE and Hulk Hogan, because remember, Hulk Hogan was not just a Hall of Famer, a legend, an icon, a former pro wrestler. Hulk Hogan was also one of the spokespersons, one of the spokespeople for the WWE. He had a Legends deal with the World Wrestling Entertainment, did the immortal Hulk Hogan. As the rumors swirl, it is believed that on tonight's Raw, there's rumors and speculation that we may get a little bit of a glimpse, maybe a little bit of a preview of what Hulk Hogan's casket may look like and the details of his funeral. While there has been no official confirmation from WWE, the speculation has only added to the anticipation and the emotion surrounding the tragic event involving Hulk Hogan. Now, Hogan's casket, if shown, will undoubtedly be grand and elaborate display again, because now there's rumor and talk about the Hogan camp, the Hogan family, arguing and feuding over what Hulk Hogan should look like, what he should wear in the casket. Should he wear the red and yellow? Should he wear the black and white? Should he just be in all black? Again, there seems to be a lot of fight, a lot of rage, a lot of backlash, a lot of retort, a lot of reactions about what Hulk Hogan should look like in his casket. And that's what might be actually making this funeral be drawn to the fact that it may not happen right now. It may not happen as soon as we think. What the casket will look like and the details of his funeral. Hogan's casket, if shown on Raw, will undoubtedly be a grand and elaborate display. As a larger-than-life character, it is only fitting that his final resting place reflects his personality. It is expected that the casket will be adorned with symbols and images that represent Hogan's legacy, such as his iconic red and yellow colors and his famous catchphrase, Hulkamania. Additionally, there are talks that WWE may hold a public funeral for Hogan May, allowing fans to pay their respects and say goodbye to the wrestling legend. This would be fitting tribute to a man that has entertained and inspired millions of fans around the world throughout his illustrious career. It would also be an opportunity for those who are unable to meet Hogan in person to honor him and say their final goodbye. Of course, these are just speculations, and we'll have to tune into tonight's episode of Raw to see if any of these rumors hold anything and turn out to be true. However, one thing is for sure, Hogan's impact on the wrestling world will never be forgotten. Throughout his decades, long career, Hogan was a trailblazer and paved the way for many wrestlers to follow. He was a former 6-time WWE champion and had countless memorable moments in the ring, from his feuds with Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3 in the Pontiac Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, to his iconic match with The Rock at WrestleMania 18. Hogan's legacy will live on through the memories and stories of his fans. But Hogan's impact went beyond the wrestling world. He was a pop culture icon, appearing in movies, TV shows, and even his own reality series, Hogan Knows Best. And of course, the MTV era of the WWE we cannot forget. He also inspired countless people to train and emulate his larger-than-life persona in and out of the ring. As we wait for more details about Hogan's funeral and the tribute that WWE will pay to him, let us remember the man who will forever be known as the Hulkster. Let us celebrate his life and his contributions to the world of professional wrestling, and let us never forget the immortal words he spoke with such conviction. What you gonna do, brother, when Hulkamania runs wild on you? Rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. You will be missed, but obviously you will never, ever be forgotten. And again, guys, this is a very rough, this is a very challenging, this is a very roller coaster ride of emotions for Hulk Hogan at this stage of the game. But what do you think Hulk Hogan should be buried in? Should he be buried in his red and yellow, his black and white? Should it be all black? Should it be a different version of Hulk Hogan that we have never seen before? The only one that knew that was before his passing was Hulk Hogan, and hopefully he had it wrote down. Hopefully he had it in his will. Hopefully Hulk Hogan had something going down, because there's always going to be things said and read and heard and all these different things, whether it's true or not, whether it's speculation, whether it's rumor, whether it's confirmed. You're going to hear a lot of different things from a lot of different people, apparently, okay? And that's just the way it goes. When somebody dies, you're going to get all these differences. You're going to get all these emotions. You're going to get all these tribulations. You're going to get a whole bunch of things heard, read, seen online. But again, take it with a grain of salt. You got to take it with a grain of salt. But here, ladies and gentlemen, on the Brash and the Brazen by design, we are bringing you this news item at this hour. Remember to like, comment, interact, to intersect. Because in this next news article, Kevin Nash calls out black wrestlers for flip-flopping on Hulk Hogan after his death. Hulk Hogan's inner circle accused of hiding the truth behind his health decline. That being reported online according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters at this hour. And again, we're going to get heavy into this again, guys. Listen, Hulk Hogan was larger than life. He was WWE. He was professional wrestling. You don't understand that I would not be here talking about wrestling if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, who made WWE revolutionary, who made it as over as it was, as popular as it was. You know, it went from something very small, okay? You would see it in an armory. You would see it at an athletic league. You would see wrestling events, but it would never be as over without the help of Hulk Hogan. Now, Kevin Nash isn't biting his tongue when it comes to how wrestlers have handled Hulk Hogan's legacy. Nash first responded to ESPN personality Peter Rosenberg, who said Hogan should have acknowledged his past remarks more openly. Nash dismissed the idea and drew comparisons to other public figures who have avoided accountability altogether. So this Peter Rosenberg guy said Hogan should have been a man and should have eaten shit. Donald Trump ain't gonna eat shit, obviously. Hulk doesn't eat shit. From there, Nash turned his attention to wrestlers who have previously condemned Hogan while he was alive. He acknowledged that as a white man, he couldn't fully grasp the impact of Hogan's words, but still questioned the apparent shift in how those same people responded once Hogan passed. I saw several black wrestlers when Terry Hulk Hogan was alive talk nothing but crap about him because of his comments. I can't put myself in that position because I'm white, but if you get a pass in death, then where's the line? Because these black wrestlers who were very vocal against him a few years ago are now singing his praises. Yes. The comments arrived shortly after WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, one of Hogan's most outspoken critics over the years, publicly praised Hogan following his death, despite previously saying that he would never accept an apology from the wrestling icon. Kevin Nash's remarks are likely to stir the pot even further in an already tense conversation about legacy, forgiveness, and race in pro wrestling. What do you think about Kevin Nash calling out black wrestlers for changing their stance on Hulk Hogan following his shocking, untimely death? Something that nobody saw coming, except if you're maybe Bubba the Love Sponge, who did report that Hulk Hogan was on his deathbed. So I guess he was right. You got to give credit where credit is due, whether you like him for him or against him. Bubba the Love Sponge was on to something about Hulk Hogan. Now, he may not be right on everything, just like I'll be honest here. We don't get it right all the time, and we do go back and say, all right, we didn't get it right. We didn't report this correctly, so we're going to go back on this and say, well, this is what's going on. This is the real deal. This is what we're hearing. This is what we're seeing. This is the update. This is why I pride myself in giving you guys around-the-clock rumors, news, and headlines. This is why I give you guys the most up-to-date, the most influential, the most impactful WWE news, rumors, and headlines around the clock, and I will never stop for my viewers, my fans, my subscribers, and most importantly, my channel members. And it's so crucial to become a channel member right now. Please sign up today. But ladies and gentlemen, as we all know here on The Brash and the Brazen, that is not all. Because we are also receiving word, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, a Florida school board chair apologizes after celebrating the death of Hulk Hogan. Absolutely sick, sinister, and satanic. It is satanic that a Florida school board chair apologizes after celebrating Hulk Hogan's death. Oh, did Hulk die? I didn't even know. Good. One less MAGA in the world. He worked with the McMahons to unionize but bust professional wrestling. He's never been a good guy, and I feel absolutely nothing about his death. Wow, 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 wow. Mercedes Moné has won two more championships. Two more titles for Mercedes Moné as if she needed it. I reported yesterday that she won another title. Now she's won a second championship. So 2 new titles added with Mercedes Moné. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, and your emotions on all of that. Maven issues an apology after his Hulk Hogan video. Remember Maven? Some of you might watch him. Some of you might see him. Some of you might be into his YouTube channel. He's grown significantly. Hey guys, Zach and I want to apologize for the thumbnail on the Hulk Hogan video. We didn't create a thumbnail like we usually do for our videos. As a result, YouTube automatically chose a frame where I was smiling, which didn't reflect the tone of my thoughts. As I said in the video, I am saddened by Hulk Hogan's passing. I understand that Hogan's legacy is polarizing, but that doesn't diminish the impact he had on the business. I will forever appreciate the legacy that he left. We've updated the video with a custom thumbnail that better reflects the message. Going forward, we'll be more diligent with every aspect of our content and take the time to get things right. I am only human, and I made mistakes just like Hulk Hogan made mistakes, but he said sorry, and he owned up to them. And exactly, Hulk Hogan said sorry. He asked for forgiveness. Hulk Hogan even went to the point of being born again. Hulk Hogan even went to the point of being born again. Mark Henry refused to say anything bad about Hulk Hogan despite past issues. And again, a lot of these black wrestlers that were against and that were calling out Hulk Hogan and that were wishing for his death, now with Hulk Hogan actually dead and passing away, they're now changing their tune. And again, here on Seanzviewent, we don't got nothing against whites, blacks. It doesn't matter if you're from Ireland, Canada. It doesn't matter your race, your color, your origin. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. We need your thoughts, your comments, your implications. We need it all because remember, without you, there really is no Sean's View Entertainment. And that is the cold, hard facts. Because I could just be standing there with a microphone and talking to a wall of nobody, talking to something that doesn't talk back. But you aren't not just something. You are all somebody. You are all somebody. You are all a part of the extended family of Sean's View Entertainment right here on YouTube.com. Also coming through here on Sean's View Entertainment. You hang on Hogan's nuts because he made your solo career relevant. That is what a fan said to Bully Ray. Now, we'll be honest. Bully Ray's solo career may have not been as over without Hulk Hogan, but to say that during this time, during this moment, is absolutely tragic, horrible, and sad. AEW's Hulk Hogan tribute outdrew everything on AEW Collision over the weekend. And wow, aren't you know, AEW's probably saying to this themselves, well, because remember, they didn't pay homage, they didn't tribute him, they didn't say anything about Hulk Hogan in the first couple of days. They said nothing about it, they didn't bring it up, they did not acknowledge it, they didn't do anything. So now they're probably saying, oh, good thing we brought it up because now we can pull in more views, we can pull in more money, we can pull in more comments, we can pull more interaction. So they drew a bigger number because of Hulk Hogan. Sky Hogan issues a statement on Nick Hogan's birthday, and Nick Hogan has responded. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, your emotions on all of that. Also here on Sean's View Entertainment, we bring you the latest, the greatest, the hottest, the most innovative news and rumors. We are working on huge top stories in the world of WWE. Going into Raw tonight, following Monday Night Raw, during Monday Night Raw. Remember, this is your prime source, your hottest location, the brash and the brazen. Stay tuned. Set a reminder to watch Sean View around the clock, morning, noon, and night, to the delight of each and every one of you. Subscribe.